But with that, I can feel the crowd turning against me, so let's get to the matter at hand. And what's question number one? What are we talking about today? Okay, here we go. I was baptized as an infant and have attended church most of my life. Yes. Why then do I struggle with the feeling that my faith is not good enough? How can I have true assurance of my salvation? That is a fantastic question. How can I have, and I really like the last one, true assurance of my salvation? Let me phrase this. Even I worry sometimes about, maybe the question is, am I being faithful? And so sometimes I think Christians may be confused, like, am I being faithful? Am I making the right decision with one of assurance? Am I really saved? And those are kind of two different level of questions. So, the first thing I'd ask is it that you really feel that you're not, your salvation is assurance, or is there conflict within you about a decision, or maybe you haven't accepted forgiveness of something that you've been forgiven for? Are you sure the struggle is at that depth? Like, you do not know that Jesus died so that you might be saved. You do not know that your faith is sufficient for that task at hand. Assuming that it's of that depth, I would begin to have a conversation about this. Salvation is a gift. It is a pure gift. Even Paul, the Apostle Paul, says, if we have faith, the fact that we have that faith is in and of itself a gift of the Holy Spirit that's been given to us. So the fact that we can even respond in faith is in its nature a gift from God. And one of the things I think I've learned about me, and I've learned about human beings in general, is that we are horrible receivers. Have you experienced this? We are horrible receivers. And I'm probably the most guilty. I will go through elaborate lengths to have somebody not do something for me. Do you know how many aisles of Home Depot I have walked in a determined pursuit not to have someone help me? Are any of you there with me, or am I the only one? Do you know how many miles I have driven lost? Thousands. This is, all the millennials are going, what? How can you be lost? You always have your phone, don't you? Yeah. It's horrible. It's tough for us to ask for help. It's tough for me to ask for help. And that's Home Depot. We're not talking about salvation. We're talking about screws and bolts, right? So imagine how much harder it is for somebody like that to receive a gift that really matters. The kind of that just blows me away kind of gift. I have a small group, and we meet every Monday night. We've met for a number of years, and we're kind of getting into that place in our group where we're talking with each other about all the things we wish we had done. Almost our regret list. Not quite regret, because we've still got time to get them done, but we're kind of talking like all the things that maybe Jesus has called me to do, or gifts that I have that I just haven't developed. And one of our guys at our meeting last week said, Andy, I've got something to show you. And this is from the whole group. And he went he went somewhere out of sight, and then he brought back this canvas painting. And on one side of it is me on my Harley. I look good. And then the other is the spire of Yale Divinity School, where I went to seminary. And then on the top of it is the definition of a pun, because that's the highest form of humor God has gifted people with. And there are those who get it and those that wish they got it, right? But it's a painting of significant aspects of my life. I didn't know it was coming. And when I saw it, I was taken aback. I was completely shocked. And I just didn't know what to say, which, if you know me, that takes a lot, right? But it was a gift. And so it's in my house now. And the other day I was just walking by it, and I sent him a text. I just got to tell you, I'm so moved by this. I didn't even know you had this gift as an artist, but he does. And he texted me one back, and he said, I've had it for years. I just haven't done anything with it. And so that would be another kind of angle I would take in this question. How can I have true assurance of my salvation? I would say this. If you use every gift that God has given you, you'll know. You'll know. Because there's only one place that gift could come from, and that's from Him. And when you use it, or we use our gifts, we feel His love for us. That's how you know. So with that, maybe let's bring that question to a landing. But what a great question. And I think it's something that all of us struggle with to some degree, even for the most committed Christians, because salvation is such an overwhelming gift. To be forgiven of everything that I've done, really. But once we receive it, it sets the platform for a new life for which there are no words. And I think as we live into that, we become more and more confident that gift that Jesus Christ gives to us is completely the real deal. All right, number one. Well, that was tough.